Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Major Declassified, presented by the Academic Resource Center at Seton Hall University. Today, our goal is to kind of help you discover a couple different questions that you don't know that you have about how to thrive at Seton Hall University. But that's not something that I can just do on my own. So at the Academic Resource Center, we have a ton of opportunities for you to thrive at Seton Hall University. And those opportunities include tutoring, supplemental instruction, different academic study skills workshops, ultimately aimed at helping you be a great student. We do that through the use of our peer tutors, our academic administrators, and our campus partners. With us today, we have one of our peer tutor coordinators who's here to offer some real experience and guidance on what some of those questions should be and how we can appropriately answer them to make sure that you are getting everything you can out of this presentation. Gabby?
Hi, everybody. So yes, I am Gabby Piatanza, one of the peer tutor coordinators for the Academic Resource Center on campus. It's a great resource for all students to use. A little bit about me, I'm in the Stillman School of Business. I major in marketing and management with a minor in legal studies. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. So, thanks.
All right. All right. Thank you, Gabby. So, Major Declassified. When you saw this, I'm sure you were hoping that we were going to be able to talk to you specifically about your major, but as this is a live event, we don't really know who's here, but we are just excited to speak with you today about everything that we can in general. If you're looking for a more customized experience, we will be offering other opportunities to engage, but we also encourage you to use the question and answer chat function throughout this entire presentation. So if you're unfamiliar with Microsoft Teams, that is the little chat icons with the question in them. We will be monitoring that throughout the entire presentation, so please feel free to ask as many questions as possible. It'll get you back in the mode for being in the classroom. So let's get started. When we were coming up with this presentation, we wanted to ask students, what were some things that you wish you knew as you were entering college? And a lot of these questions are things that have to deal with your classes, but also have to deal with your practical experience. So again, if you have questions, ask, but these come from your peers. All right, so first question or statement. Do I need to stay in my major at Seton Hall University? Recognize that you were accepted at Seton Hall for a particular major, but that has not been set in stone. If you want to add a major, if you want to add a minor, if you want a double major, triple minor, whatever crazy combination that you want to go for, you still have the opportunity to do so. For a lot of you, there may be a time where you realize, I'm not sure if this is the direction I want to go. I'm not sure if this is how, or this meets what I thought it was going to be. You can change your major. We have great academic advisors at Seton Hall University who can show you exactly how the credits you're taking can apply to a different major. We have career advisors where if you're not sure what you want to do after your Seton Hall experience, they can help you connect your skills to the necessary fields that you're looking to go into, or just answer the question, or help you answer the question rather, what is it that I want to do? So, short answer, you do not need to stay in your major at Seton Hall University. You do have the option to explore, and we encourage you to explore. Use your elective credits wisely. If you're curious about a different area, those are opportunities where you can do so. especially for some of our Stillman students, Stillman School of Business. You'll take so many courses in so many different concentration areas that you may discover you have a passion for IT versus accounting, or you may discover that you want to do both, or you might want to add econ. You can do so. Next question. Can I add a minor outside of my college and or school? The beautiful thing about college is that it is an open experience. Now, there are some caveats to that open experience, but for the most part, they encourage you to gain a knowledge base across a variety of areas. So, and I'm sure Gabby can speak to this via her peers or friends or anything. It is important for us to always remember that your minors are just express that you have a brief background in something, and you can do that in almost any college. If you're a diplomacy major, you're going to minor in a language for the most part. If you're a psychology major and you have a passion for instruments, you can do different you can do a musical studies minor. There's a ton of combinations that you can make to help this experience be uniquely you. Gabby, anything you want to add?
Sorry, but yes, just to add to that a little, you can take a minor in any school that you want outside of yours in any area. Like Brandon said, these credits are for exploration. So I have a friend who took a minor in an instrument. She took piano classes and she did that. Others, you can take minors in a language or a culture to have a background there as well. There are many opportunities, so be open to that and explore the course catalog and look to see what you're interested in. So yeah, thanks.
When you're thinking about minors, it is something that you want to discuss with your academic advisor. It's important to recognize again that these are designed to fit into your schedule, but there are prerequisites to particular minors. For instance, a lot of people would love to have a minor in a language, but you have to make sure that one, you complete your placement exams if it's a familiar language, or if you're starting a brand new language, that you talk to your advisor about what the time to completion will be. And every advisor will be able to help you out if it's something that you want to put into your schedule. If you're thinking about a potential career field that doesn't exactly align with your major choice, then you might want to see if you can get a minor in that area, so that way it makes you the most applicable person, or the closest applicable person for that particular career field. You have so many opportunities with your minors that we just want you to take the time to explore and understand what you're getting into, so that way we can do our best and do our job and help you achieve more. Can I meet and build relationships with a professor whose course I have not taken? There's a lot going on in this particular question. One of the best things that you should start doing at Seton Hall University is networking. That doesn't mean, though, you're only allowed to connect with people with whom you've had direct forced experience. For instance, we have one of the best things that our bio majors can do is connect with different bio professors, because when you're doing things like that, that gives you better and more diverse opportunities for research. If you know that you're in a math class, but that professor also teaches somewhere else, or might have contacts to help you get internships somewhere else in a different area, You want to make sure that you're looking into who are teaching these classes, who are the Seton Hall faculty, so that way you can make the best connections possible. Just because your advisor isn't the person teaching the course, or your professor isn't the person that you want to speak with, they are still open and available to meet with you as a Seton Hall student. This statement doesn't just relate simply to professors. We also want it to relate to your academic administrators. We love working with students. One of the main reasons that we have these roles, that we took these jobs, is so that we can help students grow, develop, and become great. For my role at Seton Hall University, again, as the director of the Academic Resource Center, I am invested in each and every student's academic success. I want to see them thrive. So I see students from every major, minor, school, college, program, whatever, and whatever they need is whatever I help them with. Whenever they show up in my office, whether it be September or May, I will do whatever I can to help them grow and develop at Seton Hall University. Now, I do teach at Seton Hall University, but that's around 25 to 30 students a semester. I'm connected with significantly more because students follow the one piece of guidance that everyone gets at the beginning. Show up. If you can simply show up to a place and let us help you, you will be significantly better off. Now, showing up sometimes feels very difficult, especially when we're thinking about being in a virtual environment. But all we ask is that you just send an email. We are very responsive. Talk to your peers. Maybe they are better connected with someone that you may not initially have been in contact with. A lot of your peers will be in different sections of different courses. You're still free to connect with those professors as well. Gabby, anything you want to add?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's really, you have the opportunity to meet and network with so many different people who work at Seton Hall. And the people who are there choose to be there. They want to help you. They want to meet with you. So be it in the sciences for research opportunities, or in the School of Arts or the business school with like industry professionals, in that sense, like there's so many people to meet, and you never know where an opportunity may arise. So really get yourself out there.
Thank you. Last note that I'll make on this point and this question is your deans are included on this list. You should absolutely get to know who your deans are, not only because if you need to get signed into a course eventually, it might be a good person to have help you out, but because they, again, are some of the most connected individuals on campus. So you want to make sure that that person recognizes who you are. And again, they are available. Everyone holds office hours because we want to meet with our students. Regardless of if we're high flex or fully in person or fully virtual, office hours are available to students to help them better engage with the professors. All right, moving on. Why should I connect with professors outside of my major? Key point being outside of my major. When you think about 4 years from now, really 3 or less to be honest, but when you think about the recommendation letters and those people that you need to contact for personal, professional, and academic references. So regardless of if you're trying to go to grad school, if you're trying to get a job, or if you're looking for a public service opportunity like something for like Teach for America, you're always going to want to focus on a personal reference, a professional reference, and an academic reference. Most students think that they can just ask a professor that they whose course they've taken. That is a great academic reference, but if you haven't had a chance to visit that professor's office hours or gotten to know that professor outside of that particular classroom environment, you might be setting yourself up slightly, because can they speak to who you are outside of the classroom? So you may have a history class and be a bio major, while that person may not be able to guide you to medical school. If you had a great experience in that class and you still continue to connect with that person, they can speak to your qualities. They can speak to the different things that you've done outside of that classroom environment and how you are a complete person and not just someone really good at taking exams. So this is to say that you should always make sure you're connecting with your professors in general, not just the ones in your major, because everyone can offer something. Everyone can help guide you somewhere, and everyone can help develop those skills so you're able to continue moving forward. Again, as we move through these questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section. We're gonna cover a lot of different things, a lot of different questions, but if you have something specific that you'd like to ask, we will absolutely do our best to help answer those questions. And we'll do our best not to call you out and say your name, unless you put it in there and you want to be called out. We're all happy with everything. Do I have to buy all of my assigned course materials? What about supplemental materials? You should buy the textbooks that are recommended by your professor. Now, you may hear some students say, no, you don't need everything. It is hard to say that every semester. Every semester, professors can update their syllabi. So just because someone got away with it the previous semester doesn't mean that you will get away with it this one. As books update, the syllabi update. So it's important that you get the proper course materials, so that way you give yourself the best chance of success at Seton Hall. The supplemental materials. Supplemental materials are going to be the information that your professors highly recommend you utilize during your time in the course and potentially as you progress through your major. While the supplemental materials are not always required, they are always useful. Sometimes the supplemental material can be something as simple as a guidebook or a specific financial calculator that you may need as you move forward through a finance major. That's something that's a one-time purchase that moves forward with you throughout your entire major. A lot of these information that you get in your supplemental materials expands your knowledge for outside of the classroom practicality. Thinking way back to my time as an undergrad, some of the things, and I was a psych major, some of the things that they asked us to purchase early on were our APA guides and our a DSM. Because those don't change that often, it was beneficial to have that at the beginning, so that way I always had a good reference guide moving forward through my entire college career. Now, again, everything eventually changes, but it's always good to have those things because it takes a few years for anything to really change. But it's always worth looking into and investing in some of those more transferable materials. Gabby, any notes on that?
I think you hit the nail on the head on that one, but for the next one, if you want to hop there, if I remember correctly. Just because we are encouraging you to get all of your materials, there's a reason that they were recommended. There's a reason that they're required. You don't necessarily have to buy all of them from the bookstore. There are many other third-party websites that offer the textbooks that you can find online. There are Facebook groups. We recommend that you join the Facebook group for your class, and upperclassmen actually can post their textbook there, and then you have the opportunity to message them to try to buy it off of them at a discounted rate. Textbooks are steep, so we want you to get your textbooks. We want you to be prepared for anything that the class throws at you. But we also don't want to break the bank, right? So sometimes it's great to get a used copy, to rent a copy. But on certain textbooks, the digital formats that also have supplemental quizzes and worksheets connected to them, you have to buy those from wherever they're coming from because it's an access code. The access code can only be accessed once, but if you have the opportunity to look other places, you can definitely use that.
Thank you, Gabby. Another trick that a lot of students try and use and it does save a lot of money if they use an older version of a textbook. Now, though that's a gift and a curse. Sometimes that older version isn't really missing all that much information. Other times, that older version, it can completely throw you off in the entire class. If you're going to explore that option, what we suggest is that you check with your professor at the beginning of the semester or shoot them an email before the semester begins. Professors continually check their email, especially as it gets closer and closer. We're just over a month out, if you can believe that. So most professors are checking their email, and if you have a question like this, it's important that you reach out and ask how different are there any major differences between this current version and a cheaper, older version. Make sure you always check with them first. Moving forward, no questions yet. How should I track my progress and take ownership in completing my degree? Seton Hall does its best to equip you with everything that you need to succeed. You have your peer advisors, your resident advisors, your first year advisor, your primary academic advisor, your career advisor, your academic resource center, this Office of Disability Support Services, health services. There's a ton of different services on campus to help you be well, do well, and stay well. But when you're thinking about taking ownership of something, it's time to start investing in what you specifically want to do. So what we're asking you to do is make the investment in your major. When you sit down, or that first time you sit down with your advisor, you should really start thinking about, what is my end game? What is my end goal? And if you can only think about that to the end of the semester, that's fine for now. But you should really be thinking about your full year, that first 60 credits, and even up until your full 120. It takes 120 credits to graduate most majors at Seton Hall University. There are a few that have more, but we're not going to get into the weeds of that. If you're taking ownership, though, especially if you're coming in with things like AP credits or any outside credits from different schools or universities or anything, if you want to do a study abroad, if you want to do any other summer session, this taking ownership will help you better understand when and how you can do that. You can sit down with your academic advisor and devise a 4-year plan. That is something that they are absolutely willing to do. And that way you can kind of plug and play what you need or what you need to work on. Some advisors within particular majors, and I believe within Stillman, have you build this early on in your academic career. But being that not every school requires this, it's something that you should take full onus of. That way you're in charge and you're always on track. It also makes your advisement appointments more meaningful because you go in there ready and equipped with what you should be taking. That way you can spend more time talking about what do you need specifically to get to your end career. If there's any specific single offer courses that might be coming up that might be able to fit into your schedule. It shows that you have a better understanding of exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and if there's other opportunities, how they can fit in. Now, this is always an interesting question because we live in a highly technological world. So what technology should I use to ensure my documents are protected? Let's say, looking back at that previous question, you have your 4-year plan on a physical piece of paper. Keeping track of that single sheet of paper or 4 sheets of paper, however long it is, for 4 years could be rough. Let's say you're Excel savvy and you want to put it in Excel. That's a better option. The one thing that we can always guarantee you is technology is a beautiful thing, but technology does have a way of letting us down ever so often. So when you're thinking about what to do in order to give yourself the best chance at not losing information, the cloud. Being a Seton Hall student, you have access to your own personal cloud where you can upload information, your schoolwork, photos, emails, whatever you want into your cloud. You can even share information from your cloud, and it just allows you to access it regardless of what device you're using. Seton Hall primarily uses the Microsoft Office suite, so if you haven't downloaded a lot of those apps to your phone, I highly recommend you start with at least Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Outlook. Downloading those 2 apps will give you direct access to both your email and the chat functionality of where you can reach out to your peers, professors, and other organizations that you might be a part of on campus. So those 2 are definitely important, but your OneDrive account then falls in next as something that you should absolutely take full advantage of. It is your singular space to do with what you please, and should your laptop fail, should something happen, should you get a virus or anything like that, you at least know you have access backed up to that cloud. So whether you're at home, your laptop dies, if you can get to campus, you can simply just log in to one of those public computers and continue working on that paper. This is incredibly important for those students who, we'll call them night owls, who decide that the hours between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. are great times to get a paper done. If you're worried that you might forget to save something, if you're worried that, I forgot my flash drive as I was coming to campus to print something out. If you are a forgetful person at all, using this cloud storage system is your best bet. Can't tell you how many times I've had students come to class. Oh, I just need to print my paper, but I left my flash drive at home. Why didn't you use this? There's a ton of different solutions that allow you not to have that excuse. So to arm yourself, make sure that you are fully utilizing these resources. Gabby, anything that you want to add in terms of technologies?
Yeah, I'll just add to that. So my freshman year, was in the Cove on campus, working on papers, and someone spilt tea on my friend's computer, and her whole paper was fried, and it was due the next day, and she spent hours starting from scratch, starting all over again. And that's just one horror story, right? So you go to tech services and you're like, hi, like I used the Seton Hall computer, like, can you get it? And they can't because it's not on the cloud. So be it on your phone, on this computer, on a different device, if you save everything to the cloud like I do and like many other students do, you don't have to worry about it. And as Brandon said, with the applications on your phone, like you can download the OneDrive app, the Microsoft app, the PowerPoint app. I have them all. I'm also crazy, but just having a couple is really a game changer, and you can do work anywhere. So.
Thank you again, Gabby. It really is better to have and not need than to need and not have. I know that old adage is corny to some people, but it really is beneficial for you guys, for all of you, to make sure that you have everything stored in a space that makes sense. And it's free as a Seton Hall student. You don't have to worry about any subscription fees or anything. It's just something else, something for you to use for your own benefit. Why should I strive to connect with my peers? Everyone tells you like, college could be the best 4 years of your life. I have my own gripes with that statement, but at the same time, you can make a lot of connections here. We've all heard the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. There's a combination there. You have to know something in order to be of value, but when you're connecting with your peers, it allows you to kind of help navigate the waters of college. If you miss something in a class, your peer might have caught up. If you're sick or out for one day, you can go to a peer to get your notes. If you're looking to join a different organization or curious about different opportunities, that's why you have your network. Your network is key to opening doors that you didn't know existed. I didn't know as an undergrad, certain clubs, organizations, and societies were on campus, but I had friends who were connected with those. So that's how I was able to get involved and expand my portfolio and my network further. The other reason that it's a great idea to connect with your peers is group work. The one thing that all students, I'm told, love is group work, because everyone functions so well together, everyone does all that they're assigned to do, and no problems ever occur. When you're looking at working with your peers, when you're thinking about your peers and your majors, because we want you to recognize that Seton Hall is a medium-sized school. So for a lot of your classes, you'll see some similar faces fairly often. You're going to have classes where you're going to walk into the room and not recognize a single soul, but there's chances are that you'll see at least a few people here and there in the classes that you're taking throughout your time. Having an idea of who your peers are makes selecting those groups a lot easier. Having an idea of how people work together makes you more productive and helps develop your communication, your leadership, and various other skills as you continue to move through. So it's important to know who you're going to see throughout your major. This can start in your university life class. You'll get a diverse idea of what majors are out there, what different people are going through, what experiences people had in particular areas. So that way you can kind of have a more personal connection to any potential changes you might make to your schedule. Someone might say, hey, have you ever taken a class with Professor Laura Moore? And they'll say, oh yeah, absolutely, he's amazing. You should absolutely take that class. While I tend to agree with that, there are other students who might say, he was okay. Everyone's got their own opinion. But we want you to make sure that you're able to have a trusted network where you can make sure that you're getting the most out of it. You're exposed to the most. I'm not saying that you have to be friends with every single person, but connecting with your peers is ideal. When you really think about it, go back and look at all your Instagram followers, your Facebook friends, any of those social media contacts. Use Seton Hall in that way. All you're doing is making a connection with someone. And then what you do with that connection from then on is up to you. What are strategies to use in order to best utilize the resources I'm paying for? At Seton Hall University, as we've stated before, there are a ton of resources available to you, from classroom resources to extracurricular resources. There's a lot for you to do at this university, but it all depends on what you want this experience to be. So, in order for you to best utilize these resources, you have to first identify who you are. What is it that you want from this experience? How are you willing to challenge yourself? And what do I need to grow? Who you are is going to be a question you work on throughout your entire lives. You should have a mission statement, and I believe some of you may work on that in university life. But once you have that and you start to branch out into the areas that you'd like to join, and by areas I mean clubs, organizations, societies, things like that, from there you can kind of understand what are the things that I need in the moment. So what you really should start with is a plan, and a plan that can change. The average college student graduates having changed their major, I think it's 4.5 times. And that's a typically national statistic. So don't be afraid to change your major, but have a plan for what you want to get done. There are many ways to get to many career fields. This is kind of a hint for later in your lives, but an answer to a question for later in your lives, but I believe it's 70% of jobs don't require a specific college degree. So when you're thinking about that plan after discovering who you are, make sure that you're open to the adjustments, because the one thing that I can guarantee you is life happens. So the moment that you wrote that plan down, life is looking at that plan like, okay, what can I do to make this exciting? COVID. But we do want to make sure that you start with a plan. The other thing is you need to be open to exploration. Typically, I ask students to, when especially they're looking at clubs and organizations, I ask students to choose 3 options. 1, something that they're familiar with, that they might have done in high school, that they might be passionate about. 2, something that is professionally enriching. So your major society or something that relates to that field. For instance, there's SHUNA, which is Seton Hall United Medical Brigade, and there's a whole bunch of different organizations that relate to various fields of study. From Financial Strategy Club, that club helps people better understand what their finances are as we approach tax season. Should be one of the most popular clubs, but something professionally enriching. And then finally, that third option, something random, something that somebody sold you on, something that someone, as you were walking through, someone said, hey, this is what we do with this club. It could be the Yacht Society. It could be Habitat for Humanity. It could be the gaming sector. Whatever random thing that just catches your eye, go for it. Give it a shot. I mean, at Seton Hall, we go as far as the Harry Potter Society, which I still can't believe is a thing. I am not a Harry Potter person, but take with that what you will. I don't know who just signed off from this call after I said that, but we want you just to explore the various opportunities here. Whatever you're looking to do, you can do it at Seton Hall, but you have to start with a plan and then start being open to exploration. Keeping yourself organized is that next step, and that's important as well, because coming from high school, you had a very regimented schedule. You were at school at this time, you went straight through until this time, and then you had extracurriculars directly after. There may be entire day-long stretches where you have no academic or social responsibilities during the standard week. You may have off on Fridays. You need to start organizing yourself in ways that make sense for you to get everything that you know, or everything done. And when I say get everything done, I mean done well. So if you know that you have to take a chemistry course and chemistry has never been your friend, you have the Academic Resource Center that has already been paid for. Thank you for your tuition. So you might as well stop by and let us help you. It's not always about making sure that you get the right answer, but it's showing you the strategies so you know how to do these things on your own. Our goal is to make you, again, the best student possible. Our tutors have been in the classes, worked with the professors, and gone through the exams, projects, homework that you're going to go through. So whatever we can do to help guide you through that in a better fashion, we are looking forward to helping you in that particular way. You should join a club. You should take advantage of a service opportunity. These are things that not only enrich you, but can diversify your resume and your experience. So everything has value to it. Not to mention, Seton Hall pretty much offers you a free t-shirt with almost everything that you do. Ask any Seton Hall graduate, ask any Seton Hall student how many free t-shirts that they've gotten throughout their entire career, and I guarantee you they have enough to clothe their entire family in shoe gear. Gabby, can you agree?
Yeah, I'm wearing my Pirate Adventure shirt, but yeah, so many drawers worth, but I'm not complaining. I'll take more anytime. But it gets people out.
Beyond that, it's really just about, again, showing pride in what this place has for you and can do for you. At this time, we are grateful that you did decide to spend this afternoon with us, but we wanted to keep ourselves open for any questions that you may have. Remember, we do have Gabby here with us, who is a business major. So if anybody on the call is a business major and they have a question specifically about that, we are happy to help you. I've been working at Seton Hall for a number of years, so we can help you with a lot of different majors right now. So if you have any questions specifically about what you're looking forward to about this experience, what you're curious about as you're preparing for this experience, whatever we can help you answer now before the semester starts, we are happy, ready, and willing to do so. If you don't have any questions, that's perfectly fine as well. We are always available to you. You can simply reach out to us via arc@shu.edu. That's arc@shu.edu, or by simply stopping by Arts and Science Hall 242 once we return to campus. Even if we're not on campus, all these resources are still available to you. We are very proud of the programs that we're doing, and we look forward to you being a part of our Seton Hall Pirate family. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your summer. We look forward to seeing you in the fall, and go Pirates.